Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making something I'm really excited about. It's dishwashing detergent, and so it's a solid dishwashing detergent, and it's super concentrated, and it's amazing. Like, you won't believe how little of this stuff you need to get your dishes clean. Just like a single swipe from your sponge, and this stuff's pretty solid, so you won't pick up a whole lot, but just a single swipe with a damp sponge will do so many dishes. This stuff is amazing. I first discovered and fell in love with solid dishwashing detergent when I spent time in Costa Rica in 2014. We'd rented a flat and I went to the kitchen to do some dishes, and there was no sort of characteristic sort of tall bottle of detergent. There was just a small plastic tub of paste, and it had a picture of a lime on it. And so all right, this is probably detergent. Swipe some up with a sponge, and holy Moses, wow. This stuff was so effective. You needed so little of it on your sponge to do so many dishes, and it's just like, why don't we have this back in Canada? And so I have actually found a place to buy it in Calgary, specifically called Unimarket, but I want to bring the love of solid dishwashing detergent to everybody, and so that is today's recipe. Unlike when we're formulating surfactants for like our hair or our face, when we're concerned with cleansing, but we're also concerned with gentleness, because face, hair. Today we're talking about like gross, like grease encrusted frying pans and stuff, and so we want grease cutting, and so we're taking a bit of a different angle here, and I've chosen a couple of my sort of stronger, more grease cutting surfactants. And so we've got quite a lot of sodium cocoa sulfate, which is one of the best sort of like high bubble grease cutting surfactants that I have, and I haven't really tempered it with much else. There is some Cocamidopropyl Betaine in there and some Bioterge to get extra, like this stuff's amazing, guys. I gave a tub of it to a woman I know through we both walk our dogs together a lot, and she went and had a roast dinner for dinner that night at her house, and she came back the next day and was like, your detergent stuff is amazing. And she'd only used a little bit of the stuff that had been stuck to the lid of the container, which really isn't much at all, and she's like, my roasting pans have never been so clean. Woohoo! In addition to some seriously grease conquering surfactants, I've also added some baking soda. So because this isn't a liquid, we're able to really effectively incorporate just a touch of something abrasive, which further helps clean off dishes and cut out schmeg and get crap off of your pans and things. And then I've included some d-limonene, which is citrus terpenes, and so again, this helps with grease cutting, but then it also makes the paste smell like lemons, which is also great. But this generally, like, it comes together really easily. As you'll see, we're just kind of like making a paste and packing it into a little jar, and then it lasts for ages. Like, I started developing this recipe back in, I think, about July, and I'm still using the first container of this final recipe that I made. And so I've had that sitting around sitting at the side of my counter, dutifully cleansing all kinds of dirty dishes for like at least 5 or 6 months at this point in time. This stuff lasts for absolutely ages because it's so concentrated and so amazing. So I really want everybody to fall in love with solid dishwashing detergent because it's amazing. So let's go make some. We'll begin by combining the ingredients for our surfactant paste in a heat-resistant glass measuring cup. So in here we have 30.8 grams of sodium cocoa sulfate, 9.45 grams of Cocamidopropyl betaine, and 9.8 grams of Bioterge AS40. Give that a bit of a stir, and you're probably looking at that and thinking, Marie, you're crazy. That's never going to turn into a paste. It is so dry. But it will, I promise. We're going to pop it in here, water bath. It's about a small saucepan with about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it. And I'm going to pop this on the stove for probably 20 to 40 minutes, kind of depending on how much attention I pay to this and how much time I spend doing other dishes. And it's just going to slowly melt into a uniform, smooth white paste. I'll probably just kind of do it over medium-low heat. See you soon. And here we are, the lovely smooth paste, like magic. So we can set our water bath aside, and we can add in our next set of ingredients. So we have 9.8 grams of baking soda,
and 9.8 grams of d-limonene. At this point in time, all that's left to do is add our preservative, because of course we're going to be dipping damp sponges in here all the time, so we definitely need a preservative in there, but we need to wait until this is cool enough to add one, and it's still quite hot right now, but let's check the temperature and see how hot quite hot is. Well, that's excellent. Actually, it's only a couple degrees Fahrenheit too warm, so this is just a meat thermometer that doesn't get much use since I don't eat meat. And so it's in Fahrenheit. And so we want it to be 50 degrees Celsius or lower, and that's 120 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was about 124 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm smearing this around, give it as much surface area as possible to help it cool down as quickly as possible. That seems to be bang on the nose of 120. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes, just in case, a bit of margin of error. Might as well be a couple degrees cooler, just in case. That seems to be about 110, so that's good to add our preservative. For our preservative, we're going to use Liquid Germall Plus, which works especially well in this application because it is tolerant of high pHs, which this product has. So we need 0.35 of a gram. Now all that's left to do is transfer it to our container. So this is a 50 milliliter plastic jar from Humblebee. And I do recommend using a plastic jar. Glass near tile is often not a good idea, a recipe for breakage, and then I would be concerned about metal rusting with how frequently this is going to be exposed to water. So plastic is nice and durable, and if you can get something with a nice wide mouth, that's also excellent. All right, so it's pretty sticky now. You can kind of use the lid to squish it down a little bit. As it sort of cools down, it'll become less sticky, and then you can kind of press it down a little bit more effectively. But this is never really going to be really pretty, and who cares, because it's dish soap. I wanted to do a bit of a demonstration and show you just how awesome this stuff is. So in here I have a Pyrex measuring cup and a spatula that I've used to make a oil and wax based salve, which if you know making things, you know is an annoying mess to clean up. And so I'm just getting a bit of this paste on this damp sponge here. Get a little bit of water going on in here. You can see I've already got a pretty good amount of lather, and honestly, this works way better in a sink. You can see the bubbles, they just keep coming. It's amazing. So guys, this is just like, it's absolutely squeaky clean. And this water isn't even particularly hot, and this was definitely not terribly clean when I started. It's amazing. And you can see all the lather that there is built up, and there's even still a bunch of product left on this sponge that I could use to wash a bunch more dishes. So this stuff is incredible. And there you go. You just made a super concentrated lemon dishwashing paste. I really hope I've convinced you to give this stuff a try, because it will absolutely revolutionize your dishes doing. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and remember to check the description box where you'll find a link to this recipe on the blog, where it's all written out in percents and grams with links to all of the ingredients and all of the equipment I used. See you next time.